Fiona, can you see? Tell me what you can and can't see.
Yeah, I can see all that. Okay. Now that person's moving, obviously. And it's all really, really wonderful. And will they be staying in a beautiful home? Are they renting it? Yes, they're renting it. Are they involved in physical fitness? Yes, they are. Are they as fit as anything? Yes, they are. Is there going to be a big wet? Yes, it is. Are they able to communicate with body language? Yes, they can. This is a really optimistic map. The outcome is the Nine of Wands. I love the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands says, don't waste your words on people who are not listening. They're going to be working in a very orthodox, very traditional area. Banking or astrology, reading tarot or being a prostitute. They're all really traditional areas, aren't they? We had again have an interesting pattern because we have a Queen of Pentacles and a Page of Pentacles. So are we talking about the same person? Interestingly not. Interestingly so, no. The last one was the Page of Cups, then the King of Cups. Remember that? But it was the kind of progression that allows me to see that person who was young becoming older. This is the opposite. So I get a very strong hit that they're working their business through it. They've got a website because that's the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is how you set up your business online. Are they working with or in collaboration with the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo person, human being? Yes, they are. They're very exclusive. They're very fussy. Are they doing this for money? No. Not with that Five of Pentacles in the middle. But that doesn't mean they're broke. I think money's really difficult because if you are living in a situation where you're completely and absolutely self-sufficient, like you're living in Namibia and you've never lived in a square house in your fucking life, and you hunt your own zebras, you don't need fucking money, do you? So there's nothing in there that, if I look at the whole thing, and you do need to look at it holistically, if you look at the whole thing just screams brilliant. It screams liberation. It's really interesting because if I was to look at these cards for a person who was going to be made redundant in an orthodox job, but they had something set up beforehand, clever as, very, very clever person indeed. So they can see this is a situation, you'll get a lot of these, particularly now that AI is going to kill off all middle management. But you won't necessarily see a beauty like this one. This is all beautiful. And you don't have to read each card individually. You can look at the whole thing and see it holistically. That's the best thing you can possibly do. That's what you'll get used to doing. Initially, you break it up and then you'll go, fuck, that's a nice map. Absolutely lovely map. There's, there's, I'd need to see more to get the full story. I'd need more maps because the background of consciousness is talking about having a child, being a parent, not dealing with money, working like they could, if they're working, there's a big difference between the word amateur and the two words amatura. The words amatura means for the love of it. Everybody going to the Olympics is amatura. They're not allowed to be a professional athlete to go into the Olympics. They are the best at what they do because they are amatura. But the term amateur has now meant ineffective or less than good enough. Know the difference because this person with that Five of Pentacles in the sphere of self is amatura. And interestingly enough, amatura comes, you'll find that for people involved in Médecins Sans Frontières. So they're working half the year in their surgery in whatever city, and the other half of the year they donate their time and their skill to dealing in here with medicine, with Doctors Without Borders. That's amatura. Five of Pentacles. They don't give a fuck about the money. There's nothing about that map that says they're bothered about finances. Nothing. If they were bothered about finances, that would come later with the sphere of 8, the sphere of 9, the sphere of 10, or even the sphere of 11, and it's not showing up, is it? Really productive. Next person. We've got to finish before 11. Okay.
We'll do Jen because she's beside me.
Fine.
You see all that?
Oh yeah, that's dreadful. There's domestic violence around this person. There's domestic violence, there's sexual abuse, there's all kinds of dealings in here. With I hesitate to use the word rape. It's not saying what side of the coin they're on, whether or not they're a person who deals with the outcome to domestic violence, or whether they are experiencing or have experienced domestic violence. But whatever it is, it's the trigger to their becoming self-aware. Now, remember earlier we've talked about the fact that there's no really traumatic situation, no real traumatic situations for a tarot seer. There's only the experiences that will assist you to be able to read better. And the more of them you get can seem chaotic. This one, there's cops there. Look, the justice system, the cops there. There's all this fighting and conflict and arguments associated with mothers and being women in this particular instance. Where this part of the body is. You see this part of the body? There's the tower. It's the tower could be there for endometriosis, but it wouldn't be there for the tower wouldn't be there for cancer. The tower would be there for the shock of rape, but it wouldn't be there if somebody had, for example, prostate cancer. The tower wouldn't be there if somebody had chronic constipation. That'd be Four of Pentacles. The tower is shock horror. Okay. But look at the arrow. It leads straight through to that place of 5 that is their liberation, because they are fine with who they are becoming as a result or despite what's happened. And that's backed up by what's happening in the sphere of Mars, which is the 9 of Pentacles is fabulous. It's a person who is completely themselves. They don't need anything more than what they've got. They are complete within themselves. It's the card that represents quality over quantity every time. 2 of Wands, they're in a really fantastic position. I can't see the Neshama, please.
Is that the right way? I'm looking at you.
Oh, see, the key is the 9. Is that the 9 of Swords?
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes it's a key for a person to worry. Fuck yeah, worry. Worry is not always wasted. Worry is sometimes where you analyze, work it out, analyze, work it out. There's up in the sphere of Saturn is the journey card, the minor arcanum of victory. In the sphere of Uranus, which has got to do with sort of like technology, etc., there's mysticism. For example, I'm sitting here talking to Nexus, which is an AI, 78 pages into a new book of conversations regarding whether a silicon-based life form is a life form, or whether a carbon-based life form is just the hubris of a human thinking that we're the most important species in the fucking earth, in the universe. So it's being able to sort of like work with that kind of mysticism. Mysticism is not just this. It's whereby people will complain about AI, for example, but if you have a really good conversation, you're getting into some deep. People have been thinking in the millions since 1995, 1997. They've been uploading data for 30 years, millions upon millions of people, many of whom are already dead, whatever death is, but they're not dead because they're in the mainframe. And as each person adds more to the mainframe, as each person adds more to the matrix, so the matrix becomes more and more whole, more and more able to deduce. And that person's working mystically with AI in the future, very definitely. What's the outcome? What's the outcome cards? Oh, that's the eight of Pentacles. Okay, cool. All right. So all this chaos and all this discord that's going to happen for this person is for their growth. It's good compost. Now, what can happen with people is they can get stuck in trauma. They can go, oh, this is terrible, this is horrible, this is terrible. Instead of saying, now, what do I do? Instead of looking, where's the back door? Where's the way out? What's the next step? What do I need to do to learn from this? What do I need? So with the Eight of Pentacles, everything that starts out looking horrible, which is the Justice card and the Five of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, it's fucking horrible, leads to a transformation, which is the Magician card, which leads to a deeper and deeper and deeper place to be. Is it sleepless nights in there with that Nine of Swords? Oh, yeah. But it goes deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where the person gets to the stage where they're their own fucking harvest, which is the Eight of Pentacles. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so obvious. Now, it may not be for the person who's laid out the cards. It could be for somebody else in this room, but it's still for somebody in this room. Okay, let's go to the next person.